Welcome to the 4th episode of Hot Boxing Talk, South Africa's very own online boxing show. In this episode, we're going to be speaking to Cape Town Devon Carter on social media in boxing in South Africa, as well as our weekly chat with sports journalist Hayden Jones and boxing journalist Cyril Lahong, and not forgetting the very popular Polka Mango. I happened to be in Cape Town for the second weekend in a row, and I happened to catch up with Devon Carter, who ring announcer as well as the founder of SA Boxing Buzz on Facebook, and to discuss the way forward with social media in the world of boxing. So with me is Devon Carter in Cape Town again for the second weekend in a row, and I wanted to get Devon on camera to talk to the Hot Boxing Talk and talk specifically about your role in social media. Specifically, you were one of the first guys in South Africa to start a boxing group called SA Boxing Buzz. Tell us why you started that.
Well, to be honest, I started SA Boxing Buzz because I was, and I still am, a big fan of the Golden Gloves website, but one thing that ticked me off about the Golden Gloves website is that a lot of people got away with saying things and hiding behind a persona or a fake name. So I thought to myself, you know what, we're going to talk about boxing, let's know who's saying what. So I started the group up and we invited a few people, and it just grew and grew from there. But the nice thing is that now we know who's talking about what, know who's saying what. And it's grown into a group now full of fighters, trainers, daily interaction, and it's absolutely great. But
the one thing that I admire about you is that you're not scared to keep your mouth shut. You don't handle racism, you throw people out with racist remarks, and also you call out all the smack-talking people who lie to the sport of boxing, don't you?
Yeah, because I think, for a very long time, people have been able to get away with talking shit, basically. And if you're going to say something about a fighter, you're going to say something about his career, you're going to say something about his trainer, you've got to back it up. It's got to be factual. You can't just run your mouth for the sake of trying to get people to believe in the hogwash that you're spilling. And if I see that happening, I'm going to call it out. That's always where I've been. It gets me into trouble every now and then. I get some funny phone calls at the dead of night, but that's me. That's who I am, and that's how.
So actually, that was my next point. You've got a few fake profiles calling you out, and you've had a few people hounding and looking for you. How do you deal with people like that?
Oh man, you just got to sort of gauge how serious they are. But I think I've gotten enough respect nowadays that when I first started doing this, that's when all of the people were trying to basically intimidate me or say things and threaten me and all that sort of thing. But there's a lot of people whose bark is way worse than their bite, and I know the people in the industry now, and also I know I've become a lot more respectful myself. I mean, I also did a lot of stupid things when I was first starting out, as anybody does, but now I think everyone's kind of respecting each other again.
You also ring announcer, you've got a couple of TV dates and you've done exceptionally well there. Where do you see yourself going with the ring announcing gig?
Oh man, I'm just going with the flow. It's I'm doing something that I've always had a passion for. I've been ring announcing now for, I think this is about my 8th year. And I mean, I remember the first show I did like it was the back of my hand. I've actually got the DVD of the first show I've ever done. I've only ever watched it once, and I refuse to ever watch it again because I'm so scared to see what I look like.
As this is an online boxing show, what do you have to say to the Hot Boxing Talk fans?
Hot Boxing Talk fans, guys, talk about it as much as you can on Facebook. Share videos, share ideas, get it across that the people of South Africa, the boxing fans of South Africa, there's a lot of trouble that the sport is going through in this country, and don't stand for it. If you think something is wrong, say it. Call these people out if you think something is done wrong, because the only way that we're going to rectify any problems that we have in the sport in this country is to come out and make our voices heard, and that's what social media is all about. You can't hide anymore, guys.
There you have it, Devon Carter, president, I would say, of SA Boxing Buzz on Facebook. You heard it here first. Hot Boxing Talk from Cape Town.
Hi, I'm Maureen Juba, South African Junior Welterweight Champion, and you're watching Hot Boxing Talk.
I pretty much say this every episode now. Hot Boxing Talk wouldn't be the same if we didn't catch up with sports journalist Hayden Jones and boxing journalist Cyril Lahong to discuss the latest of boxing trends and what's going on, specifically Miguel Cotto possibly fighting Canelo Alvarez. So one of the talking issues this week is Miguel Cotto, the 160-pound middleweight champion of the world, linear middleweight champion of the world, possibly going up against Canelo Alvarez for the middleweight championship. And I wanted to get the two gentlemen's opinion on that fight. If it happens, who wins and why?
Canelo. Canelo wins. He's a bit bigger, a bit stronger, a bit faster, younger. I think the age factor plays a role. I think Cotto, although he's done well over his last couple of fights, he does seem to come short a bit when he comes against really quality guys. So I think Canelo takes this one.
Hayden, you know, there's so many catchweight limits now in these world title fights because, for example, we all know Miguel Cotto is not a true middleweight. He's probably more junior middleweight. This contest, if it happens, they're negotiating it to be 155, which is a pound over the junior middleweight division. Who do you think is going to be the bigger, stronger guy? And what's your opinion on this, on these catchweight clauses within world title fights?
Okay, so to answer your first question about the catchweights, catchweights, I don't like catchweights because catchweights, if you're not a genuine contender for a certain division, you shouldn't be allowed to fight for that belt at a catchweight. It's not right. The weights are made for a reason. Otherwise, we should scrap weight altogether. And the only way that a catchweight bout should be made is if you have two genuine world champions from two different weight divisions and they have to meet in the middle. That's fine. Meet at a catchweight. And to answer your second question about 155 and Cotto, I think, you know, at that weight, it's Canelo's natural weight. But the experience of Cotto is, you know, he's no mug, and he's going to come to fight.
We caught up with the ever popular and unbeaten fighter from DRC, Polka Mango, who is the WBA Pan-African Junior Welterweight Champion. The WBA Pan-African Junior Welterweight Champion, Polka Mango, is in at the Hotbox Gym. Paul, welcome to the Hotboxing Talk. I wanted to bring you in and I wanted to discuss your career. Your last fight was as a welterweight, excuse me. And you look very big and comfortable and strong as a welterweight, fighting Stone van Asvechen. But your natural weight is junior welterweight. And I wanted to ask you, are you going to campaign as a welterweight now, or are you going to stay as a junior welterweight?
I'm going to campaign as a welterweight. I feel much stronger, hit harder at welterweight, and I receive the punches much better at welterweight than I did at junior welterweight.
So there's a lot of talk and there's rumor and speculation that there's a fight looming between you and Jason Biederman. How, if that fight comes together, how would you feel about that?
Well, that's one fight we really want. You know, we've trained with Jason, we've seen him come up the ranks, and actually, I remember one of the interviews I had with the newspaper, and asked me who my role model was, and it was Jason Biederman. And what's better than fighting a guy that was your role model? And we're preparing, we know how you fight, we've seen a few of his fights, and we'd love to fight Jason Biederman. And I hope that fight happens sooner or later. So
you're 22 years old, you're an unbeaten fighter. There's been talk that you were going to fight for the IBO welterweight championship against Ali Funeka. It was on, then it was off, then it was on, then it was off. If you get that opportunity, how would you feel about taking that fight?
Well, at first, like when people say that it might be a step too quick, you know, too far, too fast. But I mean, we fought guys like Kaiser Mabuz, and everyone thought that was a step too fast, and we came out victorious. So that's a fight we'd want. I mean, I can't think of many people that are better than Ali Funeka in this country at the moment. So I'd love to fight Ali Funeka, and obviously for his world title, seeing that he's a world champion, and that I mean, it's everyone's dream to be a world champion one day. And if the opportunity comes, you take it for that.
So if you had one opportunity to choose your next opponent, who would it be and why?
At the moment, I choose Jason Biederman because I mean, it just, you know, it's a fight I'd always want. I mean, I don't think if we don't fight him, I don't think we're ever going to fight him. And you know, it's just he was my role model, and to be good to fight someone that you once considered as your role model, and now you basically at the same level and you're competing in the same ring, that would be an honor for me.
A message to all your fans watching the show.
Thank you for all the support, and I thank my sponsors, To Your Right, and everyone behind me. Do my best and try to make you guys happy and not disappoint you. Much love, God bless.
So there you have it, the fourth episode comes to an end of the Hotboxing Talk. For myself, Colin, Nomaganjani, Nathan, and
Nathan Jones.
we'll catch you again next week for the fifth episode.